tell me about the last one. Diversity
Directly
without,
addressing division.
sorry, say it again.
Directly addressing division.
Okay, so how does that work? What does that mean in concrete, sort of?
Yeah, so there are a combination of things I want to do both legislatively and outside of legislation. So kind of piggybacking off of what I said earlier about the media being profit motive. So one of the things that I want to do to address that legislatively is I want to cleanly define what counts as press. So if we think about the First Amendment for a moment, I believe in freedom of speech for the individual. I believe in freedom of information, freedom of the press. But when I think of freedom of the press, I think of freedom of information, not freedom of misinformation.
Right.
Now, there is no algorithm for truth, but if we can separate off the political commentary and the interpretation and the entertainment into this other thing, which we can then moderate, right? We've been moderating that kind of stuff on radio for forever. We come back over to the press side of things, and we can work to decouple press from the profit motive. And we can do, one of the ways that we can do this, again, it's not trivial, is have low conditionality funding for local and investigative and independent journalism. This has a couple of effects, primarily decentralizing narratives and sources. So it gives people more places to go for their information. It gives people like probably more reliable, more neutral sources, which is what local tends to be. Mm-hmm. And it allows people not to be so hyper-focused on these centralized media narratives. And it also gives people more informed choices about the type of content that they're consuming. So how that would work is that, okay, if it's a political commentary show, that's fine, that can exist. But at the beginning of it, they have to say, this is not press, and it will be on the screen the whole time. And then at the beginning of a news segment, at the beginning, they'll say, this is press, and it'll be on the screen the whole time. Mm-hmm. And if they're a journalist who's been gone through the certification process and is now getting a salary and a budget from the US government to just do journalistic work, they won't be allowed to make money off their publishings, right? And that's optional, right? It's not mandatory. It's an opt-in program. And that will also be disclosed. Like, hey, I'm part of this government program where I'm not making any money off this publication. So as long as you credit me, feel free to spread it. But that helps to remove the profit motive from that side of news. And so all of that's going to be disclosed at the beginning of all publications and throughout. And it just, look, if you don't ever want to watch the news and you only want to watch political commentary, that's fine. That's your choice. I don't see this as an end-all be-all solution to this problem, but I see it as a way to begin to mitigate some of it.